All new at 10, what seems to be the first U.S. study of its kind. Local researchers published an analysis of the health impacts on Portlanders exposed to tear gas last summer. Fox 12's Audrey Wheels spoke to the lead author of the study and joins us live now with the key takeaways of this. Audrey?
Wayne, the study consisted of a survey taken by more than 2,000 people. 94% of them said that they had physical or psychological health impacts after being exposed to tear gas, and more than half of them sought medical help for it. In the Portland summer of 2020, during nightly protests, this too became a familiar sight. Streets clouded with tear gas. Considering there were often hundreds or thousands of people exposed, and sometimes repetitively, researchers at the Kaiser Permanente Center for Health Research saw this as an important opportunity to learn more about the potential health impacts of tear gas. To their knowledge, that's never been largely looked at in the U.S., though we've heard from people in the community about their personal experiences, including just a few months ago in a legislative public hearing about its use for crowd control.
At one point, I could no longer breathe. I looked into my partner's eyes and I thought I was going to die. As you can tell, I'm very upset still. I'm still processing what happened to me. Luckily, my partner administered an emergency inhaler that I had in my car and saved my life.
In this new study, based on more than 2,000 people surveyed in Portland last summer, researchers found that in addition to the short-term reactions and irritation we would expect, like coughing and burning eyes, there were other issues that didn't go away when the cloud cleared.
A key finding in our study is that a lot of the health effects that were observed, both physical and psychological health impacts, occurred for days to weeks and even months after an exposure.
Dr. Britta Torgimson-Ohario says in some cases, people reported their symptoms got worse or didn't start until a couple days later, including things like headaches, digestive issues, and even menstrual changes. Researchers say this data is just a starting point, that there needs to be a better understanding of which exact chemical agents and compounds were being used, and if there's any direct correlation between those and the health issues being reported.
So we just, hope that we can learn more about this and that the research community kind of turns their eye towards the importance of this as well.
And that researcher I spoke with says that they hope that this can give policymakers some more information and that other studies will help in that regard too. I mentioned that this session, the Oregon State Legislature is looking into banning tear gas in most crowd control situations. Now that House bill is in committee and lawmakers in that committee tell me that they'll be looking at that later on. Right now they are focused on the state's budget. Reporting live in Northwest Portland, Audrey Wheel, Fox 12 Oregon.